So, hello everybody, and whether you're joining us live on Zoom or you're watching the recording back later, we're doing hypnotherapy today, and we welcome back into the Hive Marcus Abraham. You're the first guest, Marcus, who's appeared twice, so welcome back.
Oh, fantastic! I feel honoured.
Yes, very good. So last time you were in the Hive, we were talking about your personal journey and also EFT, emotional freedom technique, tapping, and you did a live demo.
Yeah,
But today we'll do another kind of bit of talk around you, if that's okay, for people who didn't connect with you last time round. And then we're going to be focusing on hypnotherapy. So if you can kind of tell us a bit about it, and then we'll go into a live demo, hence the headphones.
yeah, sounds good. I'm happy to do that.
Good stuff. Thank you very much for your time and expertise once again. So, do you want to just kind of give a bit of a general introduction about yourself, Marcus, what you do and why you do it, maybe?
Yeah, so I kind of came into personal development. I started my journey as a late teenager and early 20s with anxiety and depression, and hypnotherapy, which we'll be getting into in a bit, is one of the things or modes of healing that I kind of accessed at first, and it was beneficial and very powerful. So, throughout my journey of personal development and kind of growth, I've utilised that over the years, and it came a point in 2010 where I had the opportunity to learn it for myself. So I went and did a hypnotherapy training course, and then it just went from step to step, practicing the techniques, starting to work with people, coaching people, also with NLP, which is kind of derived from. You could say a very good hypnotherapist that many in the field would call the father of hypnotherapy, or the modern father of hypnotherapy, Milton Erickson. A lot of NLP came from him, but he was a hypnotherapist. So using some of his techniques from the training I did, I've been doing this for probably about 10 years now. And I've done it, part-time alongside other jobs. Initially, it was just more of a hobby and wanting to understand myself and work with myself through self-hypnosis, meditation, and then wanting to practice on other people just out of the sheer, I think, cheekiness of wanting to control people's minds or thinking that I could. And I quickly found that, well, no, you can't, because it's quite powerful stuff. And regardless of how many courses you've done or what knowledge you've got, you can't really control people's minds with it. However, you can influence people in the right way, given the engagement and openness in the session. So my journey's just been about learning different techniques of how we can help people change from where they are, because there's probably 100 of different therapies, probably 200-300 different therapies in the world, while some will work for one person and they won't work for another. So for me, I wanted to have a range of techniques and kind of approaches that work for me in my own life. So I know if they work for me, I can apply them to others if people are open to that. And hypnotherapy was kind of the initial thing I went to support myself, and then also Reiki as well, as NLP and EFT a bit longer later down the journey. So yeah, I've been coaching people with many different things, from stress, anxiety, helping to quit smoking, lose weight, even grief. And hypnotherapy is just one of the tools that I'll use to help people to either change those old belief patterns or emotional patterns, and to be able to move forward in the direction they want to go. So that's a little bit about my journey with hypnotherapy, as in terms of how I use it for myself, but also how I've been utilizing that and using it, in helping other people as well.
Brilliant. Yeah, thanks for that, Marcus. Really useful. And what you said there about there being so many different holistic therapies, and what I'm increasingly aware of, I suppose, is that it is a case of horses for courses sometimes. So some things will work for some people, they might not work for others. It's perhaps a case of what resonates with that particular person. Is that your own experience of that?
Yeah, I would totally agree. I would say definitely, yeah, I would come to that same conclusion. Yeah, it's perfect. And then, you know, depending where the person is in that moment and whether they're ready, because sometimes, you know, we can go for a specific type of therapy or personal development course or journey, and it's just not the right time. So it just doesn't seem to work. And then you might come back a week later, 2 weeks later, 3 years later, through, I would call, let's say, you know, the planets lining up, and you might be in a better situation or a worse situation, but now's the right time and it actually works for you. So yeah, like you said, it's yeah, depending on where the person is at the time, and like you said, if it is the right thing for them, because sometimes depending on what beliefs we have about things can influence whether it will work or help us or not. Like, you know, I'll tell you a little story about someone who I did like a mini Reiki treatment once when I was at this little event in the park, and he was very, very skeptical. And I love doing Reiki and stuff like this with skeptics, because I always see most of the time an experience that they have, but then within minutes or seconds, what can happen is their belief system will kick back in and then totally denounce everything that they might have experienced in that moment. So what happened, I gave him a mini treatment of Reiki for 10 minutes, and I could clearly see that he'd had an experience within that 10 minutes. And as I was bringing him out of the state, like, just right, you know, the Reiki session's kind of finished, and he was like, you know, in a bit of a state of bewilderment. What's kind of happened there? How was that? And then his mind kicked back in. It was like, oh, it was because of this, it was because of this, it was because of this, which sometimes skeptics do, and, you know, that's fine. So for him, it was like, you know, it might not be beneficial for him, for as in having further treatments or even learning how to do it, because his mind is not in the right place, even though he might have had an experience. And then you know, you can even have people who just don't entertain it at all anyway. So, you know, many kind of approaches or methods of personal development will be what's the word, kind of pushed out of the way because just what people believe about them, without actually, for me, it's always about, right, I want a direct experience of something. So someone will tell me this, this, and this, and it might sound great, and I might do it just because of what they've said or their experience. But until I have my experience of it, what they've said doesn't really mean anything. It's almost like, you know, I can sit here and I could describe to somebody how an orange or a lemon tastes, and I could describe the color. You know, even, you know, if you chop it in half and start to, you know, place it in your mouth, and, you know, the kind of the saliva glands and all, you know, that kind of feeling as you taste the lemon. And I could describe it, but until you actually do it and experience it, you don't actually know what the experience is. So I'm always for direct experience to know that something's worked or not before. So there is a limit, but I'll try most things, shall I say.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's very well put, Marcus. And people do have a lot of preconceptions, a lot of negativity around stuff. I just keep coming back to this phrase that my psychotherapist said a few weeks ago. It's about readiness meeting opportunity. So a person has to be ready to kind of accept and be open to whatever the therapy is, and then the opportunity arising at the right time, and maybe the right therapist as well, because certain people won't connect with certain therapists.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
And yeah, I suppose the other thing is that there could be some fear around it as well, some negativity. And certainly, I phoned my mum earlier today and said, oh, do you remember Marcus? And she said, oh, yes, I'm really impressed with Marcus. He did that tapping thing. Oh, yeah, brilliant. And I said, well, he's doing hypnotherapy today. And she went, oh, a bit scared of that. You know, I'm not sure I want to be hypnotized. So it is about getting over that hump and just being ready and open to experience things.
Yeah, and, you know, that's a perfect example, especially with hypnotherapy or hypnosis, is that, you know, in modern culture, at some point you've probably seen a hypnosis show on TV where it was probably Paul McKenna or Anthony Jacquin or one of the other kind of famous hypnotists, stage hypnosis at that time, where they're putting people in trance really quickly and they're getting them to do really silly, stupid things on the stage. And it's almost looks like your mind's being controlled. So as soon as you mention, you know, hypnotherapy or hypnosis, some people will have some resistance because, you know, and rightly so, you know, I don't want someone controlling my mind or, you know, trying to make me do this, that, or the other. I don't want that. And yeah, so, but I think then for me, it's about me breaking down those myths and letting people know, the truth about it and what is happening in the process of, for example, stage hypnosis, because I can tell you that we all have a certain level of suggestibility, and especially if you're going along to a hypnosis show, you're 50% there. If there's 100 people in that, audience, and you're going because, I want to be hypnotized, you're already there in your mind. And then if, you choose to get up on the stage, you're like, I can't remember what Richard Bandler called it, compliance. You're already in that state of compliance that this is going to happen, I want it to happen. So by the time you get on the stage, the processes that they do, if you're, one of the really suggestible people, you will go in and out of trance and you will have fun because, you want to. So that's what I would say about that.
Yeah, similar to Derren Brown, I suppose, with the stuff he does. It's kind of a mixture of psychological tricks and trickery, magic, and hypnotherapy, suggestion, all that type of stuff. And,
definitely, and he's a true, he's a true master of it on a way of a level that, I don't know. I think he's, eat and breathe and slept hypnosis, psychological training, advanced persuasion and stuff, from him being about, I don't know, 16 or something. So he's definitely up there with that, yeah.
But yeah, you've been doing it for 10 years, so don't put yourself down. You're an experienced practitioner as well.
Yeah.
So, shall we, I wonder how, at the moment, we'll just talk a little bit about you. How are you coping with lockdown at the moment?
For me, I think I think there's different moments where if I'm busy doing something, I'm not, going into my mind thinking about, the virus situation, the lockdown, what's happening, can't see this person, can't see that people, can't do this, that, and the other. So if I'm busy, I'm not thinking of none of that. When I've stopped doing my busy stuff, then my mind might start to ruminate on, well, how long is this going to go on for? When will I be able to see someone? And, thinking of, I've not seen this person for that amount of time and I can't. And then, sometimes, you get a little bit sad or a little bit down. It's like, right, well, this is the situation. It's not going to change right now. So I just kind of accept that feeling that's there at the time, without trying to get rid of it. But, I am chatting to people. I've got, some friends I'm chatting to online, and like going out for walks still every day. With my social work job, I'm like in the office 1 week and at home 1 week. So that's helping, keeping me busy in that respect, because I get more done when I'm out. I live in a 1-bedroom flat, so I get more done when I'm out of the flat in terms of like work. But generally, I think on another level, it's almost like, I don't know, there's like an opportunity as well, to kind of relax, kind of retreat back into, where was my life before the lockdown, and all the kind of beliefs, ideas and plans that I had and perceptions of how my life should be. Right, well, we've got this time now. How do I want it to be after the lockdown? How do I want to come out of the lockdown? So, I've been thinking a lot about, my personal development and attempting and to start practicing it, and growing, so I'm different when I come out of it. Because I don't want to come out of lockdown and be the same person that Kate went in, and probably with, and this is a generalization, some people will be, they'll come out of the lockdown the same they went in, probably with a little bit more negativity because of everything that's happened. So I want to use it as a positive, really, and try and have some sense of transformation.
Excellent. So sounds like a few challenges, but generally you're kind of being mindfully acceptant of the situation and trying to let go of that control when the monkey mind does start going. And then that's the idea of reevaluating who you are, who you want to be. And I think everyone will be changed by the lockdown, the pandemic. And some people might go back to their normal lives, but I think it will impact everyone, and it will leave there'll be some kind of change. That idea of you can't step in the same river twice. It might look the same, but something's different. The water's changed. So we'll see. It remains to be seen. So one more question before we get on to more hypnotherapy related stuff. I think I might have a good idea of the answer to this already, but I'll try not to. I don't think, yeah, I'll just get on with the question.
Okay, go for it.
What do you love? What are your passions?
What are my passions? Well, my biggest passion is I would say spirituality, and kind of getting through your own barriers to reach your full potential, whatever that is, on any given day, in any given moment. Because sometimes, you know, we can have ideas of reaching our potential should be like what someone else does, or, you know, something really big and grand, when it could just be something simple in that day of, you know, I've cleaned the kitchen today and I feel really good, or I've cleaned the bathroom. So what I really love is connecting deeper with myself, and then whoever I'm with. Let's say, you know, we're not in pandemic situations, but even within this, because there are still opportunities, I might see someone on the street and I'll try and, you know, connect with them, eye contact, to kind of share what I'm most passionate about and who I am. So Reiki is a big, massive part of that, because it's massively changed my life and helped me grow and understand more of who I am, and, you know what I want out of life. And then, you know, the tools that I've learned, kind of passing them on to people. That's what I'm really passionate about. What else would I say I love? I love nature. I really do love nature. And it's only in probably the first time I got a glimpse was when I went on a retreat back in 2013, and it was a 10-day, what's it called, Vipassana retreat. And it was the first retreat I'd ever done. So it was quite intense. And, you know, 3 days in, I thought, what the hell have you got yourself in for? There's 7 days left. And it was a silent retreat, so you couldn't speak. So it was all, I had to tune into nature, and I seen something within nature that I'd not seen before, just like a presence. And that's never left me, despite, you know, getting back into the world and your busyness and everything. And every time if I go for a walk near where there's trees, you know, where there's nice kind of surroundings in nature, I feel that presence, and I can, you know, really tune in with it. So probably in the last 12 months, I've been walking around a lot of parks and finding the little nature spots where I live, and, you know, always tuning in with it, because, yeah, I think there's something within us which is also, I don't know, mirrored back in nature. And that's why I think a lot of people say go for a walk in nature, because one, it's a lot quieter, it's more natural, and then there's the natural green colours and everything. So the vibration of it does something inside, and I think that might be different for everybody else wherever we are. But yeah, that's I really do love that. And I think one of the other passions is you know, connecting with people who are of like mind, whether it be, you know, spiritual, whether it be a personal development side thing, or whether it be just, you know, talking about, it can be about anything. Because one of the things I've learned is that if I'm interested in people, regardless of their interests, I don't need to be interested in that particular moment, for example, in what they might not be. Someone might like gardening, and I might not be interested in that, but if they are, and that lights them up, and I talk to them about that, they're feeling lit up in that moment. And if they can feel that, I can feel that with them, even if I'm not interested in that thing. So when I chat to people and, you know, I ask questions, I'll find out what they're passionate about, and then that kind of enlivens me when they talk about it. So I hope that answers. I could probably talk forever about it, but I hope that answers your question about what I love.
Yeah, passion's definitely coming across, and I can mirror a lot of that experience as well, Marcus. So thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I was thinking last night I was walking with my son, and I saw a house that had a round window on the side of the house, and I thought, yeah, really striking. I like round things, and I also like octagons, but that's not part of the story, so I'll not go there. Round things, and I used to want to live in a lighthouse. It got me thinking about this last night. And part of the reason I wanted to live on a lighthouse was to be away from people who used to annoy me because they didn't fit into my way of how the world should be. And I'm totally different now. And I'm more on your kind of kick of connecting with people, and really, you know, just by asking you there, what do you love? What are your passions? The other person lights up, and you get to know that other person. and the stuff that's going on the ThriveHive, just people being authentic, opening up, talking about themselves, the journey, the mental health issues, what they love, the struggles. It really, to me, it feels really connecting, and that's how you get to know someone on a deeper level.
Yeah, definitely.
So I wonder, how much of that do you bring into, when you're doing NLP and hypnotherapy in particular, do you need to be able to connect with who that person is, or is it more like a blank canvas and you just go ahead and do it?
For me, yeah, I think the more rapport you've got with the person, in a therapeutic sense, where you're working with a client, let's say, the more rapport I've got with them, then the better that the hypnosis session, the NLP, whatever I'm doing with them, will be for them. And it is a two-way process. And, you can do these techniques with, when I've been on courses and, you're working with people that, you've only just met and you're practicing the techniques, and stuff will work. But I think, building that rapport and knowing them, knowing a bit of the background, who they are, what the passions are, what do they want, in learning about them in that way, it kind of, it brings a deeper connection, because in the end, for me, and what I've learned over time, is that we can have all the techniques we can in the world, and it's usually about, when it comes down to it, it's seeing that person, who they really are in the core. And when they know that you can see that, it helps things move on a lot quicker. And sometimes you could just be having a really simplest of conversation, and might be a few words you say and something shifts. You've not used 10, 5, a million different techniques to help, someone shift beliefs and stuff. It's just been a little moment of acknowledgement and recognition of who someone is or what they're going through. And even, in what I've found, the way I work is, sometimes it's not about trying to fix or change someone, because you've probably, if you've, read any literature on hypnotherapy, I would say specifically the marketing literature, it's all about, we will change you, we will fix you, we can do it in one session, we can do it in 2 minutes, and your whole life changed. And there was a time where, when I got into it, I did believe a lot of that, now I would call marketing crap. However, it does have its purpose, because it does reel people in, and then if the person who's doing it is authentic, they've got integrity, they will be able to create change with a person. So for me, it's just about connecting with the person on a level that they can connect with you on, and then helping them move forward in the way you feels best. And sometimes it's even, I've had people who've come and thought, whoa, I think that this is outside of my remit, because I don't feel I've got the expertise or knowledge to work with this person where they are. So I'll refer them on to someone else, because sometimes with these techniques, you can do more damage than good. And, if you do, and I always say it is up to the practitioner to be responsible and say, no, in this situation. And for me, it's usually been people who might be suffering from some level of psychosis or disassociation at a high level, and I've not known any of the history or background. It's like, well, no, I'm not going to touch that, because it could just open up a load of doors. So that's why I always want to build that rapport with them and connection, to see where they are first, and whether what I feel I've got to offer, will support them in that moment.
Yeah, so those strong ethical boundaries, I suppose, and getting to know something about the client, so you can facilitate as much help as possible. And I suppose that I'm thinking now about what you said earlier about the person having to be ready and open to it. So, because I imagine, correct me if I'm wrong, but I imagine what you're doing is facilitating change in someone who really wants to change. And it wouldn't work if someone came to you and said, right, I want to stop smoking, but actually 60% of them didn't want to stop smoking.
Yeah, exactly. And I've done that, and I learned this, especially with family members and friends, because when I was learning hypnotherapy and learning the techniques, and I would practice on friends and family, I'll say, let me do this on you, I can make you quit smoking. And they'll do it. And one, they're not, and from a psychological point of view, it's just, I'm practicing the technique with them, they're not paying me, it's, they're being a guinea pig. However, they would change, and they would even quit. But within a short period of time, maybe 2 or 3 months, they would start again. And what I learned was like, and even at the time, because I was keen, after a while, my hypnotherapy teacher said, don't do it with your friends or family, because it's less likely to work, because one, they're probably not paying you. Two, they'll do it because it's for free or for, very limited payment, and there's not as much investment. So like you said, they've also got to want to change. And, I've had people come who will use the term, and we all use this term as well. All of us can be in the same boat. It's, I really need to stop this. I really need. And the thing is, we all need to stop some behavior, habit, or, a way of thinking. But do we really want to? And are we willing to look at what we might be doing, which is contributing to either that mental emotional state, that behavior? And that's kind of that place where you're opening that door to real change. And it's not easy. Change isn't easy. However, with hypnotherapy, NLP, it can happen fast. But like you say, you've got to be there, open and ready, and want it. And then in that, things will change, things will happen. Sometimes it might be quick, sometimes it might be longer. Just depends on, everything's a piece of string. And I always feel that things happen at the right time for the right reason.
Yeah, okay. Great. So one more question for me, and then perhaps just open up to the people here if they've got any questions before we go into the demonstration, if that's okay.
And I'm just going to plug my Mac in because it's saying a low battery. Just give me a sec.
Beep, beep. No problem. So is anyone here? Welcome, Kath, by the way. Unmute, Kath. There we are. Hello, Kath. How are you? Good. So yeah, if you've got any questions, folks, anything you want to know about hypnotherapy or any general questions for Marcus before we get into the session, get them ready now. If you've got some headphones, Marcus is sent me some music that we're going to play through the session. So it could be more effective if you're wearing the headphones, but it should be okay if not as well. So my last question, Marcus, is with NLP and hypnotherapy, do you interchange them? Do you use them together, or are they totally separate things that you would treat a client with differently?
I think for me now, because I've trained in both, and within NLP, you are using the state of hypnosis, sometimes a light level of trance, sometimes a deeper level, and sometimes just in general communication. It'll facilitate change, but then from a hypnosis point of view, you're going into a more deeper state of trance, and when you're working with people in that. But I think because I've been trained in both disciplines, and they are connected. If you look at the history of NLP and hypnosis now, they are very connected. With the language patterns and the different kind of strategies you can use to create change. I don't know. I think it's probably become a bit of a natural way of working where, depending on what the person turns up with, I might use, an NLP strategy or go into more hypnosis. I might use both. So yeah, they kind of intertwine with each other, just depending on where the person is and what they need, in that moment. Okay,
so yeah, very much a holistic therapist, because you do the Reiki as well and the EFT, and many strings to your bow, and more to come as well, I'm sure.
Hopefully.
Yeah, great stuff. So if anyone's got a question, just unmute yourself and go ahead. This is your opportunity to quiz Marcus.
Hi. Voice has gone.
Hello.
Hi, Marcus. Good to see you.
Good to see you. How are you, Kathleen?
I'm good. I missed it last time, but I caught up on the catch-up, which was fabulous, that tapping.
Oh, good.
Oh, and it worked for me. It was just, even after the event that you did. So I'm really interested to see, what else you're doing. It's amazing. Now, I'm so ignorant. NLP. Can you explain what that is? I don't even know what it abbreviates.
Yeah, I can do that. NLP, and it is a bit of a mouthful. So it stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. And it basically means the neuro as in our neurology, and our neurons in our brain, which is our neurology. And it is our neurons are structured in a certain way throughout the brain for different, beliefs, belief patterns, behaviors, ways of being, the way our body works. There's a kind of a branch system in our brain, which is called our neurology. Like a neurologist will go in and study different parts of the brain to see how it works. With what we call NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, it's a way of using structuring experience through language and perception. So neuro is the brain, language is the language we use, the way we speak, and then programming is our beliefs, patterns, and behaviors that are programmed into our, our body, our minds, and just the way we behave. So if any NLP practitioner that you speak to will probably give a different definition, but it's usually around the study of the internal experience. So it's that kind of internal world, the structure of how we think, feel, and move through the world. For example, if I said to you now, just imagine walking into your back garden. Now, you might get a picture somewhere in your mind, how your garden looks. You might have some green grass. You might see the bins when you walk out your garden. So that's an image in your mind. So with NLP, we're using a lot of the perceptions of experience. So that's what you see, what you hear, what you feel, what you smell, what you touch. In any experience we have, those perceptions are involved. So in terms of a memory, for example, let's say someone has had a phobia. A phobia might be created. Let's say there's a little baby playing outside in the back garden. Mum or dad comes out, they're doing something in the back garden, or they're putting washing out, or whatever they're doing, and suddenly, a swarm of bees comes past, and the parent runs around, frantic, scared, full of anxiety, picks up the baby, then quick runs in the house. Now that child has just got an internal experience associated with wasps or bees, and mum or dad's in that frightened state of anxiety. Now that might be all right 10, 20 minutes after, but that child's now just got a coded experience going straight into their subconscious mind. Now, it might not be till they get to, 18, 20 or older that for some reason they have a phobia of bees or wasps, and they never know where it came from, but they just don't like them. Now, that can happen with many different, experiences that we have, where things get associated to different things from experiences that we have. So using NLP techniques, you can actually change the structure of how our past experiences have been encoded in the brain through, what we see, what we hear, what we feel, what we touch, what we sense. And through following certain methods and techniques, you can change how our experience is coded. And you can also, from a linguistic point of view, the way we speak will kind of define what our beliefs or ideas or thoughts we have about something. So whether that's something from the past or the future, when you've studied NLP and you practiced it a bit, you get to understand the language patterns that people use. Because at one level we talk on a very surface level structure, and another way we talk on a very deep level structure. So by asking certain questions, you can recover that deep structure information from someone's experience. So someone might say something, I just can't cope with men, or I just can't cope with women. Let's say for a relationship, something's happened. So I'll say, well, what specifically is it you can't cope with? Or what, how do they do that? So then what that does is it brings up more information on a linguistic level, which then you can work with, and it uncovers the person's real beliefs, attitudes, and feelings towards whatever that particular issue is. So for using NLP and the linguistic tools that it teaches you, you can help shift people's beliefs and ideas about themselves or an experience, and help move them in the direction that you want to go. For example, in adverts, they use a lot of NLP and hypnosis language patterns in radio adverts. Constantly, we're being bombarded with, advertising that uses a lot of these language patterns, which will usually make us buy stuff. You probably heard an advertisement which will say, buy now. You probably understood why this is so good. The first two words they used was buy now. They've just told you to buy the product now before, but the conscious mind will not hear that bit unless obviously you're aware. So they call what they call embedded commands. So in a specific speech, even politicians will use it. They'll embed commands in which only our subconscious will recognize because of the way the language is put from a linguistic level. So NLP is very powerful in the way that our brain and experience codes codes experience, and just through using some NLP techniques, because it can be, let's say, applied to any field, because it's the way we structure our experience. It could be, you know, they use it massively in therapy, they use it massively in business, they use it massively in sales. Any experience that human beings do or want to do, you can apply NLP techniques or models to create excellence. Another way of putting it would be like, let's say you wanted to model a great skill of someone else. So let's say David Beckham, when he was playing and he was at his best, it was like, you know, that corner that he used to take, you know, how does he do that? You know, what is the difference between someone who can do that in every game or every other game and someone who can't? How can we become better at whatever skill we want to do? So it's like, well, what does he believe about the sport that he does? What values, beliefs and attitudes does he have about it? Does he feel it's really important to him? So for using NLP, we can uncover what people really feel, think and believe about, you know, whether it be a certain skill, an issue that they have, something that they want to do. And then we can actually help install those same strategies into somebody else, given, you know, it being specific and measurable that they could achieve something similar. So NLP is massive, and there's many different, you know, I've been using stuff with it, but it's a very powerful tool to even, like, one of the reasons why I got into it initially was because when I had my first Reiki experience, my mind had opened up, and it was like this for about 3 months. I was in this really kind of open spiritual state, let's say, and it was like I had this sense of new knowledge, and I was speaking in a different way, and things were happening. I was getting it, and then eventually went onto the course. So it's it's very very powerful. But the reason I went onto the initial diploma course was because I just wanted to understand how my own brain worked a bit, and if I could use some of the skills myself to move myself forward. And it definitely helped.
Great, thank you, Marcus.
So I don't know. I hope I've answered your question there.
Thank you.
A bit.
Yeah, good stuff. Thank you. Yeah, and apologies, Kath, that I didn't. I used the lingo NLP rather than.
Yeah, and just to say that Kath was the first lady that taught me Reiki back when I was 19. So if it worked for Kath, I wouldn't be here now. I wouldn't be here doing it. So yeah, it was I wasn't in a good place at that time, and she didn't really know me, and she was like, I'm not sure, but you know what, my intuition is saying that you'll be fine, and I was in the end. But yeah, so if it weren't for Kath, kind of giving me that opportunity, so yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, smashing. Thank you, Kath, and thank you, Marcus. So, any other questions before we get into the interactive demo? We're looking for volunteers. Unmute yourself if you want to ask anything of Marcus before we crack on. No? Okay. So anything else from you, Marcus, before we do go into the interactive demo?
Yes, what I thought would be best is, because everyone's going to be listening, the music's going to be playing, I can just do a kind of general kind of hypnosis experience with, good positive suggestions around, where everybody kind of is. And if you was to all say, what would you want from the experience, whether it's to be feeling more confident, more relaxed, more calm, just throw, just kind of unmute yourself and just say what you would kind of want from the experience, and I will weave that in so you can all have that kind of experience. And I will put some positive, good suggestions in for you. So, as you move forward tomorrow, the next day, the week after, you will feel good. And what we'll do towards the end is there'll be a time where I'll ask you all to press your finger and thumb together. And what this is called, it will be an anchor. So the positive state that you're going to go into shortly, you'll be able to access it just by pressing your finger and your thumb together at a later stage, whether it be later on tonight, tomorrow. And you'll be able to do that with your eyes fully open and just press your fingers together, which will then fire that anchor off, and you'll have that good feeling again. So yeah, over to you guys. If there is anything, focusing on the outcome of how you would like to feel from this short 20-minute or so hypnosis experience, what would you say you'd want to feel?
So I'm happy to go first. I think what I would like is around prioritization. So yeah, practicing what I preach and doing, focusing my energies on the important stuff rather than doing unimportant stuff too perfectly. So just letting that be imperfect, so that I've got time to focus on doing important stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure does.
Okay, cool. So guys, just unmute yourselves when you've got something and share with Marcus what your intention or hope would be.
I think, building on what Paul's just said, I'd quite like something around a better sense of self-discipline or willpower. You know, in that it could be from what I do or do not eat, all the way through to the tasks that I do or do not choose to do.
Okay.
Thank you.
I was thinking along the same lines. The word that sprang to my mind was motivation.
And was that anything specific that, David, that you'd want motivation to do, or in any particular area?
Yes. No, I can't do it at the moment because of lockdown. I was thinking about renovating my flat.
Okay.
That's my biggest procrastinating task.
Fantastic. We'll put something in there for that.
Thanks.
So Kath, Angela, Alex, do you want to share anything?
Yeah, well, you know what? Both of what the two guys just said. I'll have more of that. But plus, to be consistent. This lockdown has thrown, you know, all that dilemma. Today is a very great day, and I'm doing all sorts of things that I want to do. I want to trust more that I'm doing the right thing, have the confidence, because it's just thrown me a little bit. Some days are better than others. I'd like to be consistent. I'd like to be great every day, please.
Okay. Fantastic.
I think for me, it's a bit of stopping procrastinating, but stopping doing things that I don't really want to do and that aren't on my list of things that I want to be focusing my time on. So kind of getting away from that.
Okay. So if you just kind of reframe, if you can, Alex, that what you just said, stopping procrastinating, and what specifically is it you want to do?
I guess it's things like, so I'm not so bad with, you know, like the things like someone said about renovating the flat and stuff like that. I'm quite good at the task stuff. But I think it's a time when I should be doing more of the self-care, relaxing. I find it really difficult to switch off and to focus on the things that I perhaps should be doing with my time, reading, things like that. I find it hard to focus at that time.
Okay. That's good.
And have we still got Angela? And if so, do you want to share anything, Angela?
No, I'm quite happy with what everybody else has said, really.
Okay, fantastic.
Can't think of anything in particular except eating.
You'd like some support with that?
Yeah, with eating when I shouldn't. Although there's the other thing, session that you did has helped me a bit with that.
Oh right, yeah, the
eating biscuits and stuff like that. I'd like to. Never want to eat them ever again, really.
Okay. there is a technique we do in hypnosis, but I won't do that now.
Right.
Where you kind of associate something really, really disgusting with whatever it is you keep eating.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah.
It is very powerful, and it just stops people from eating whatever that is for. No, I won't say forever, but for a very long time, and gives people some control back.
Oh, that'd be good, yeah, because you get into a new habit then, wouldn't you? You get out of the bad habit.
Yeah, because every time you think about the whole thing, it just makes you feel, kind of sick or, something like that. We did it on the hypnosis course, and at the time, mine was chips. So I put, I might imagine to put like, feces and poo and dog poo and all this stuff, and it was like in hypnosis, and when you're really feeling it, it was all kind of mixed in and everything, and it was just so connected to that thing, Angela, that you do not want to keep eating. It just made you feel sick moving forward, and you just stopped eating it, and that's how I felt. And it worked. So I'd never really I don't eat chips as much as I used to.
Chippy tea tonight, everyone. Great. I don't know if it's just me, but Marcus, everything in your screen has gone green. You look a bit like the Incredible Hulk.
I know, I don't know. Is there a reason for that? I clocked it and I thought, why is my screen gone like that?
I don't know. Are you feeling angry? We wouldn't like you when you're angry.
Oh, yeah. That's a bit random, isn't it?
Anyway, never mind. It doesn't matter. Maybe it means something. Maybe it doesn't. We'll crack on. So I think perhaps before we start, Marcus, shall I just try playing this music and just see if people can hear it?
Yeah, that'd be great.
And get the volume level right and stuff. So, folks, if you think it's the right level, give us a thumb. Oh, that for higher, that for lower. Higher. Here we go. Can you hear that? You can't. It's probably because I've got my earphones in. I'll tell you what I'll do. Let's try sharing the screen and see if that helps. Right, there we go. Share computer sound. There we go. Can you hear that now, folks? Is that going to be okay with your voice as well, Marcus? Or is it
yeah, I turn it down a little bit.
Okie
And just give us a thumbs up if you can hear my voice fine now. Yeah, does that feel okay with the music? Right, fantastic. It's all good.
Right, okay. So I'll restart that. And yeah, over to you then, Marcus, whenever you're ready.
Okay, yeah. So if you'd all just like to just get yourself comfortable, whether you sat on a chair with your feet on the floor, back against the chair, you're in a safe place where you're not going to be disturbed for the next 20 minutes or so, and just begin to feel that you're ready to give yourself permission to have this experience, and just kind of acknowledge that you're doing this for your own mental, emotional well-being. And just gently close your eyes. Just turn that down a little touch, bit, Paul. Perfect. And as you all begin to just settle down, whether you're sitting or lying down, just finding that comfortable place with your eyes closed. And perhaps you can close your eyes if you feel comfortable to do so. Feeling safe and secure. Now I want you to take 3 very deep breaths and then breathe normally. So just go ahead, breathe in very deeply and exhale. Now take a second breath, inhale and exhale. And now another, inhale, exhale. And now be aware of your eyes, how comfortable they feel closed. And just breathe normally. And I want you to concentrate on my voice now, putting any other thoughts that come to your mind aside. And I'm going to draw attention to various parts of your body. And as I draw your attention to that part, then I want you to relax every muscle and nerve in that part of your body. First of all, I want to draw attention to your fingers, in your hands, your wrists, your forearms, and your upper arms. And as you consider this area of your body, I want you to be aware of any tension in those muscles and concentrate on that tension. Now, relax all those muscles, every nerve, every fiber in your hands and arms. Allow all of that tension to flow away, to drain down. Let those muscles come to rest, lengthen and loosen. Let them just feel very comfortable, heavy, very relaxed, very, very relaxed. And when you have relaxed those muscles in this way, then I want you to concentrate on your feet, your ankles, your calves, your knees and your thighs. Be aware of any tension in those muscles. And as you concentrate on them, then again, relax every muscle, every fiber in your legs and feet, allowing all of that tension to flow away, to drift down, lengthening, loosening, so that these muscles too feel very loose and comfortable, heavy, very, very relaxed. Now be aware of your stomach muscles and your chest muscles, and notice too how all the muscles in this part of your body are now becoming more and more relaxed, lengthening, loosening much more relaxed, coming to rest as all of the tension just drains away. Draining away now, just like the grains of fine sand in an hourglass drain down into the bottom of the glass. Now be aware of your shoulders, the muscles in your neck and your scalp. Be aware of the tension here. And now you can release that tension as every muscle and nerve in this part of your body now becomes more and more relaxed, loosening and lengthening. Very, very relaxed. So that you can feel all the muscles throughout your entire body now. Loose, limp, and relaxed as that comfortable heaviness continues now. And while you're resting in this way, I want you to imagine that it's a beautiful summer's day. As it is, I want you to imagine you're floating on a cloud, so quiet and peaceful. And there you are, at ease with the world, just drifting and dreaming as you float on and on and on and on. Now you're feeling very comfortable, so much at ease and completely relaxed. Noticing that sense of relaxation as you breathe in, as you breathe out. Comfortable, peaceful, such a pleasant feeling, such a soothing feeling, a feeling as though you just want to drift far, far away. And your body feels so comfortable. Your head is aligned, your back is aligned, your knees and feet are aligned, and your body is strong and holds your body, your neck, your head exactly where it needs to as you continue to drift deeper and deeper. Now I'm going to count from 1 to 3. And on the count of 3, I want you to have drifted into a much, much deeper relaxation than the one you're in right now. 1. And your entire body is completely relaxed. Every muscle and nerve is completely relaxed and at ease, and your body feels so heavy. 2. Your head feels so heavy and sleepy, such a very pleasant feeling. You feel so heavy and tired, and you just keep falling further and deeper into relaxation. any of your thoughts are vanishing, all you can do is think of relaxation, deep sound relaxation. Three, you are now in a deep sound relaxation, and you'll continue to drift deeper and further, so that every word I utter will put you into a deeper and sounder state of deep relaxation. And all you can hear is my voice. You can hear no other sounds. All the other sounds that surround you will be of no consequence to you. Background noises, traffic outside, noises in your garden or your home. All of these are insignificant, and you become oblivious to all of these because all that is important is the sound of my voice. Now I'm going to count from 7 down to 1, and I shall use the words drift deeper in between each count. And you'll find that by the time I reach the count of 1, you will be very, very deeply relaxed. 7, drift deeper. 6, drift deeper. 5, deeper and deeper. Drift deeper. 4, drift deeper. 3, drift deeper. 2, much deeper into hypnosis. Drift deeper. And 1, drift deeper. And now you are all in a deep, satisfying and comfortable state of trance relaxation. And now I want you to notice in a few moments just how relaxed you are. Because with relaxation, you notice your breathing as you breathe in and as you breathe out in your own rhythm. And with each breath that you take, you drift deeper and deeper. With each beat of your heart, you begin to feel even more relaxed, open, and your unconscious mind is now becoming more receptive and open to changing old beliefs, old patterns of behavior, letting go of ideas or thoughts that are no longer serving you. And you know what they are, don't you? And you can just let them go. Because right here, right now, this time is for you to just drift and dream. And as your mind fades and drifts and fades, you can hear all the suggestions that your subconscious mind can accept for you now and tomorrow, next week or next month. Because with hypnosis and making changes, your conscious mind can just drift and dream as your unconscious mind listens to all the words and suggestions it needs to. So you don't even have to focus on my voice, because your unconscious mind will do all that for you. And it will right now, because in the future, you will all feel more confident, more focused, and you will and can prioritize what you need to, focusing exactly on what's important to you. And you can do that in such a way that is just right, okay, and beneficial to you. Now, in that, and as you allow that suggestion to sink into your unconscious mind, I want you to know that there is a version of yourself where you just feel disciplined, confident, and motivated to take those actions when you can on what you want to take them. And you know how to do that, don't you? Because you have done it in the past before. Doing exactly what you want to do consistently with that relaxed discipline and kindness with yourself, feeling confident and motivated. It's almost like beginning a renovation with yourself in your own home. In your own home that represents and can represent your mind, cleaning, scraping, clearing things away, the things you can do, preparing for those things in the future you want to do, making a new path, clearing a new path for your best self that you want to be, in whatever way you want to do that. And there are many ways, opportunities, and paths that you can go down to achieve that. And as you open your mind to do that, they will fall into your lap through a message, through an email, in even an unexpected way that works for you. And the way that all that happens, because your unconscious mind will begin to let you know whether it's in an hour, 2 hours, tomorrow, next week, that to be consistent at the things you want to do, you have to let go of the things that are not serving you anymore. And you can choose to do that, can't you, in the moment, while giving yourself permission to move forward, being kinder to yourself, allowing yourself to feel calm and relaxed, whether that be in the morning, in the afternoon, or the evening, just giving yourself permission to take care of yourself. That self-care. You know the ways to take care of yourself that work for you, whether that be going for a walk, taking a lovely bath, planting in the garden, or even just sitting down being quiet, meditating, or even reading a book. All the ways that you know when you're taking care of yourself. Because when you do that, and when you've done it in the past, you felt that better sense of self and confidence in yourself. And that comes when you acknowledge yourself and take care of yourself. Now, you don't have to do that every single moment of the day, and I wouldn't expect you to. Just do it once, twice, or 3 times, whether that be every day, every other day. And you know the times when you need self-care. And what could be a good suggestion for you is when you practice the self-care, there'll be times you won't need it because you've already done it, and it's part of and becoming part of who you are each and every day. Learning to switch off and relax. And we all know the things that will increase our brain activity, whether that be being on your phone, emails, TV. You choose to stop engaging with all of the things that create that stimulation and let it go. You choose to let it go. And in that, you relax. You relax. Your brain relaxes. Your emotions relax. And your thoughts begin to slow down. And they do, don't they? And whether you choose from all the suggestions, the ones that work for you to implement this evening, tomorrow afternoon, whether that even be when you're cooking or the types of food you choose to eat, all these suggestions will work for you in choosing to prioritize what's best for you in the moment, what serves you. And you will ask yourself, and can ask yourself, what is serving me in this moment? What am I giving my attention to? Is it serving me? Now, all these suggestions will sink into the unconscious part of your mind and work for you moving forward. Every step that you take, they will get stronger and stronger and stronger. Each exhale of your breath, these suggestions will work for you. And I would like now, all of you, in your own way, to just imagine or get a sense in your mind of doing exactly that behavior, experiencing that mental emotional state, focusing on the outcome of what you want in the future. Notice what you see, hear, and feel as you're doing that now. Really associate yourself into that sense, that picture, that emotion, feeling confident, relaxed, calm, and in the feeling. And when it gets to the strongest sense of achievement, focus, confident, relaxed, feeling your best self, focusing on what you want to do, doing it, I want you to press your index finger and thumb together on your right hand, pressing them together, that index finger and thumb together. When you're in that sense, that feeling, that power, that connectedness, locking this state, positive state inside your neurology, inside your body, your emotions, your feeling right now. Noticing how you behave differently in that moment, what you're doing differently, how you feel differently. And imagining next week what you're doing, feeling, seeing differently in your life. 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months, laying down this positive image, sense, feeling, visualization of yourself being who you are, doing what you do want to do and be. And you can allow the fingers on that hand to just relax. And as they relax, and you listen to my voice, I want you to know that all the work we've done in this session will be there for you, and it will embed in your subconscious mind. Every night when you sleep and dream, the suggestions from this hypnosis session will get stronger and stronger. Now, in a moment, I'm going to count up from 1 to 5, and when I reach 5, and only when I reach 5, that'll be a signal to open your eyes, feeling alert, confident, relaxed, and fully present back in your space. 1, feeling your feet on the floor, feeling your back against the chair, or whatever it touches, noticing the sensations in your body, your chest, your mind. 2, taking a deep breath in, just feeling energy as you exhale, feeling energy come up through your shins, your calves, your knees, your stomach, your chest, your mind. 3, bringing your awareness back into your body, into your mind, into this moment. 4, taking a cleansing breath, an experience of fresh water. Imagine the water coming all the way through a shower of golden water, flushing through your mind, your forehead, your nasal passages, clearing any piece of negativity that can be cleared through your mind, your body, your emotions, clearing anything and everything that can be cleared right now as you come fully back into the present moment and open your eyes. Now, in your own way, back in the room, and all the way back, opening your eyes, moving your fingers, moving your head, moving your arms, letting me know that you're all fully back here in the room. Fantastic. Just let you all kind of collect yourself and just bring yourself fully back into, your kind of experience where you are. Noticing how good you feel and what's going on for you. I hope you enjoyed that experience.
Thank you, Marcus.
Very intense, that was. But good.
Fantastic. Need a bit of water myself, actually.
Yeah, I went through some different phases there. So I noticed I had a little bit of resistance at the beginning, and my bodily, I definitely relaxed a lot, and I found my head dropping back, and my neck was quite uncomfortable. So I kind of brought myself back up again and repositioned. But then I did go deep in that section towards the end there. So it felt, I'd stopped thinking.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to share what it was like for you? Just unmute yourself if you do, no pressure.
Yeah. I just felt so relaxed immediately because I trusted you, and I actually fell asleep.
Oh, fantastic. You must have needed a bit of rest there.
Does it matter?
No. In doing hypnosis, and the word hypnosis comes from, I think it was the Greek god or Greek word meaning sleep. It doesn't matter because the subconscious mind is always taking in what it needs to take in. If we do go into a deep state of relaxation or even kind of nod off a bit, it's fine. The subconscious still takes in what it needs.
Well, it was very enjoyable. I loved it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it was really good as well. I don't think I've ever been so deeply focused, with my mind not racing. And I quite liked thinking about being in that situation in the future. I think that, yeah, I think it's really going to help. Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Like Paul, I found myself resisting a bit because I could the bit that you did at the beginning with the relaxing the parts of your body. It's very effective, and I got a bit scared that I wasn't going to wake up at the end. So, but I wish I'd done it lying down, because then I would have been able to let go a lot more. But it was very good.
Yeah, and that's fine, David. You know, it is normal to have some resistance, and especially, you know, in this kind of platform, you know, how we're doing it. And I don't know if you've experienced hypnosis before. Maybe that was, yeah, I probably should have asked people if they'd experienced it before or not. But yeah, that's natural, you know, because as you start to become aware of that kind of deeper state of relaxation and comfort, if we're not used to being in that state, but conscious, so it can be feel like, yeah, what's going on here? My body feels this, or, you know, I'm feeling like, sometimes people can say they feel like even an expansion or out of body type experience, and it's not usually a normal experience. So yeah, that's normal. So yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I don't know if I managed to feel the full benefit of it, because 10 minutes in, my husband came to find out what I was doing.
Oh.
He came in essentially kind of went, "What are you doing?" I was like, "What? Like, can people see me?" Oh, the grief. But I was able to kind of get back into it. And actually, as Alex said, it was really nice actually to have that kind of clear mind and quite focused kind of attention on yourself, rather than thinking about 7, 8, whatever different things. So thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, good. I'm glad you. I'm glad you. Definitely got something from that.
And Helen, if you're there, and if you want to share anything, just unmute yourself. No pressure.
Yeah, that was lovely. I feel so calm and so relaxed. I was kind of like tipping over. Yeah. So I brought myself back a few times, but that was lovely. Thank you.
You're welcome. Fantastic. And you know, with hypnosis, that happens because, you know, you're being guided into that state of relaxation. So the mind will drift in and out. Sometimes you can be a bit more present, and sometimes you can, you know, be totally have gone asleep. So there are different levels of trance, and there's none that's, you know, it's right for this or for that. So, you know, whatever your experience is, you know, is right for you. Yeah, thank you.
Great stuff. So, I wonder, Marcus, are there any kind of contraindications, anything we need to be aware of, being careful with ourselves for the next however long, or is it all good?
The only thing I would say, just depending on, you know, how you're feeling now, you know, if you are feeling, sometimes people can feel a little bit lightheaded, or depending on when you eaten last as well. So it might be good to just, you know, if you are feeling a little bit, I don't know, lightheaded or not fully grounded yet back in, it's always good to have like a biscuit or something to eat, an apple, a piece of fruit, that helps to really ground you.
Not biscuits, not biscuits.
Yeah, maybe not biscuits. So I threw in the apple after. But yeah, you know, other than if you most people, yeah, you're usually all right within 5 to 10 minutes. Not that you're not all right in hypnosis, but it's just bringing your full faculties, but, you know, kind of back online, and, you know, even just a little walk around the garden or your house, you know. But it seems like you're all fully present, fully back. But one of the things that I wanted to do is, because I just wanted to ask you if you all pressed your finger and thumb together at the point that I asked you to. Yeah. Right, perfect, fantastic. So what I'd like you to do now, with your eyes open, and you are, you know, you're fully here, you're not in that deep state of relaxation or trance that you was in before, but so you're here now. So what I'd like you all to do is just gently close your eyes and press your finger and thumb together, and just hold it really tightly. And as you do that, just notice what you notice, how you feel, any sensations, anything going on for you. Should be a way to just kind of access that calm, relaxed state. Maybe not at the same level, but Just gently open your eyes when you're ready. And you might just notice that it kind of, it brings a kind of state of calmness just from firing, because what we basically created there, I always do it when in sessions, it's an anchor. So you can use this whenever you want. If you choose to, is just, press your finger and thumb together whenever you want, when you're not doing anything. And that'll fire the anchor off. So what it does, it creates a new neurological pattern in your brain, almost like a resource to access that state of relaxation. And I use this with people who might have, they might have issues with anxiety, or it might be that, for example, they've quit smoking, and all the times where they would have smoked, where they would have got that craving or that sense of anxiety around it, I will use an anchor. So at every point where they would have done the old habit, now they'll press their anchor, and it just kind of creates a new neurological pattern in the brain and experience for the nervous system. So it's really good just to, just press it. When I initially started using NLP and hypnosis, I used to do it in the gym, because if you've ever been at the gym or done something where you're in that kind of flow or focus state, specifically in the gym, it doesn't last very long. You might notice it for a few seconds or maybe a minute or so if you're lucky. So what I decided to anchor it every time, and I'm running on the treadmill there, and I would anchor it. And then when I would get to the gym, before I'd get on the treadmill or the cross trainer, I would just fire the anchor, and I was in more of that state. And through my exercise training, I would press it more. It would get me back in that flow state and be more effective in my training session. Or if I was to deliver like a bit of a workshop before I'm about to deliver it, I would fire my anchor, just so it gets me in that more relaxed, calmer state. And you can have anchors for different things. One might be, for relaxation and calmness. One might be for, feeling more motivated or more focused. So we've all been in a focused state before. All you have to do is remember the focused state, how it felt like, where you was, what you saw, what you heard, what you felt. And when you go back into that, even in just your memory or imagining how it would be in the future, once you're in it, those moments where we're amped up, we're into it, I'm really full. Anchor it. You might use a different finger. You might press your hand like this or something, anchor the state. And then when you come out of it, all you have to do is fire it off, and it'll bring that state back on. Now, it might not be as powerful as when you're visualizing it. So what the kind of advice is, like from what you've done today, you might, over the period of the evening tomorrow, you might press your finger together. You only have to hold it for about 10, 15 seconds, and then just fire the state off. You might do it again an hour later or 2 hours later. The more you do it, the stronger it gets. So it's just a bit of advice that might be able to help you during the lockdown if anything comes along, because things are happening that are kind of pushing us all. It can kind of just bring us back into a state of balance.
That's great, really useful. Thank you for that, Marcus. And it's good to know that you can have both a calming trigger and also an energizing one, and that the latter is what it was like for me, because I was focusing on focus and being able to, be productive, focus on the things that are important, prioritizing. And when I was in the deep meditation, I was connecting to, there's two times that really stick in my mind where I have been in that flow state of really productive, really focused on the thing that I was doing. And just closing my eyes then and pressing my fingers together, I just instantly connected with the vision of what I was like then. And I felt my breathing quicken and shallow, and a sense of excitement and energy flowing through me. And when I opened my eyes, I was smiling. I thought, yeah, it is just reconnecting with that energy straight away.
Yeah, definitely. Good. Yeah, it's good feedback, because it's with anchoring, it's always different for everybody, and depending on how much attention in the moment that we give it will depend on the benefit of it. And it works with most people. It doesn't always work with everyone. They have to usually find different ways. But I hope you all got something from that takeaway.
Yeah, great stuff. I'm aware that Angela, I think, lost connection and is trying to reconnect. Can you hear us, Angela, or not? No, maybe not. Okay. So any final questions or comments for Marcus from you guys here? Feel free to unmute yourselves.
No questions, just a big thank you. Thank you very much, Marcus.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Really appreciated it.
Thank you, that was amazing. I feel so lovely, to be honest. Have you recorded it, Paul?
Yes, it's recorded, so I shall be posting it on the Hive later on this evening.
So we can listen to it again then?
We can do it every day if you want.
Yeah, if anyone, if anyone wants, I do have a free hypnosis download that I give, which is just, it's like for everyday stresses. So I'm happy to send that to Paul. And he can put it in the Hive, and anybody can use that whenever they want. Then just download it to your laptop, your phone, or whatever.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very kind of you, and it's good to see that you're not angry anymore. You're no longer green, so that's good too.
I know. I wondered what. That was a bit weird, weren't it? We went. I thought I'll just leave it. Zoom. I tried to try and do something, but I thought I'll just leave it. It is what it is.
Mark, can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Right, when you got to number 2 to wake us up, my phone died.
Oh
no.
Well, it's
so I sort of lay there for a bit, thinking it's going to come back on again in a bit. And I knew I couldn't stay there forever, so I've got up and started recharging my phone, but I still feel a bit weird.
Right, yeah, okay. You will be fine. That's it's a pretty good example that what you've just said, because one of the myths that some people can have about hypnosis is that, can you get stuck in it and where you'll never come out? And what's just
I was aware, yeah.
Yeah, what's just happened there with you is that while your phone might have died, you just came out of it yourself in your own time, and
Yeah, it felt weird though, moving, getting up.
Yeah,
and I wasn't sure headphones on my phone or what it was. I just knew something wasn't right.
Right, and how do you feel now?
Quite relaxed.
Right, okay.
I'm gonna stay on the bed upstairs now, charging my phone.
Okay, good. And you probably feel that sense of relaxation, for a few hours throughout the evening. Even maybe tomorrow in a few days. It'll just stay with you. As the night goes on, you'll in the evening you'll kind of come back to full consciousness, feeling alert. And
it was. It was lovely lying on that top of that cloud. It was nice.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
There we are. Now I'm unmuted. So anything else from anyone, or Marcus? Just unmute yourselves if you want to say anything else.
Yeah. Can I just ask Marcus? I sometimes, quite often, have trouble sleeping, and that just sent me off to sleep. Would it be a safe thing to listen to when I'm going to sleep?
It would, yeah. It's perfect because, obviously the hypnosis process is putting someone in that, deeper state of relaxation. And I've worked with, many people with hypnosis for, relaxation and sleep issues. So that, I'll send the recording over to Paul. You'll definitely be able to use that when you go into bed. And what will happen is it will help you to create a new, more relaxed pattern within your, your brain, your emotions, your nervous system at the time of bed. And then the more you listen to it, the better it will be over time. You'll start to sleep, sleep better, and it might start working, straight away. But yeah, I'll send that over to Paul. There's also
fantastic. Fantastic. That's very generous of you. Thank you, Marcus.
It's all good. It's fine. There's on my website, marcusabraham.com. There are there's like a box where you can put your information and get more free downloads as well. But I'll send that one over to Paul for him to put on the Hive.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Lovely. Thank you, Marcus. So marcusabraham.com if you'd like to connect with Marcus, and I shall post that resource on the Hive once it comes through later on today. So all that remains is to thank you again, Marcus, for your time and your expertise and your generous gifts to us all. And thank you, Dave, Kath, Angela, Helen, Caris, and Alex for being here to share it with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you all for being here. Yeah, giving me the opportunity to do it. So yeah, I appreciate that as well.
Great stuff. Smashing. Right. So I think we've got a day off in the Hive tomorrow. Woo. I'm a busy boy tomorrow, but then on Monday, come back on Monday at 8 o'clock for a premiere on the Pathlight YouTube channel. It's Sid Cooper, musician, and student of philosophy and psychology, and all round a good guy, talking about meaning, the crisis in meaning, and how he has found meaning through music and finding his purpose. Talks about mental health and connection and all sorts of good stuff. So highly recommended. I was buzzing when I recorded that with him. So 45 minutes from 8 o'clock tomorrow, if you fancy that. So
Not
thank you
tomorrow.
again. Not tomorrow, thank you.
No.
Monday. Yes.
Yeah, Monday's your day off, Paul. Take a rest.
Sunday day off. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, so good stuff. Thank you very much, Marcus. Thank you, everyone else, and see you
Thank
back
you,
on that.
Paul.
Thank you, everyone. God bless.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.